Hi everyone, and welcome to another video. In today's video I will be doing an acrylic painting of Denver, Colorado, my hometown. About 6 months ago I thought it was time for me to finally do a painting. It's been a while since I've done a canvas painting. If you look back at my playlist for acrylic paintings, it's been a few years since I've done a painting on a canvas board. So I thought it was time to pick up a brush, grab a canvas, and think of something. Originally I wanted to do a castle on top of a mountain kind of view, but I ended up not liking how I drew things out, so eventually I came up with an idea of painting my hometown, which is Colorado. I love the mountains and also the city, so I found a perfect picture to semi-replicate, and I didn't want it to be boring of just a city with some mountains in the background, so I decided to make this piece go from daytime to night. Theoretically speaking, the sun rises east and sets west, so this painting does not make sense whatsoever, because if you are facing the mountains, you are facing west, which means the sun is supposed to be setting. I ended up making the sun set from south to north instead. Again, it doesn't make sense, but I actually liked how it turned out. I started with the sky by adding the sun in the middle of the canvas and putting light blues and pinks onto the left side of the canvas, and the right side I added dark blue, black, and hot red to the right side, which makes the effect of on the left side it's light and on the right side it's dark. For the mountains, I actually looked at a Bob Ross tutorial in order to make the mountains. A few years ago I did an oil painting of a train next to some mountains and it didn't turn out as planned, so I really wanted the mountains to work for this piece. So I used purples for the mountains as well as some black for the right side of the piece. And thank you Bob Ross for the mountain tutorial. Without it I wouldn't have been able to make such realistic looking mountains. Then I ended up dropping this piece for at least 3 months. I was in the process of moving and I actually stayed at my friend's house for 3 months and didn't bring any of my painting supplies with me over there except for some markers. Everything else was left at my mother's house. I also didn't want to bring too much things, knowing I wasn't going to stay at my friend's for long after the move, and finally setting into my new place I picked up the painting and started working on it again. Now that I remember, I actually color blocked the buildings before stopping, and as I continued to work on putting details into the buildings, I realized I didn't put the buildings in the right spot. So that made me go back and repaint some of the areas in the mountains. Each building, I put a lot of detail in it. Every window, every shading, and I at least worked on it twice, sometimes 3 times a week in the evening, and it still took me a few hours to get one building done. Eventually I got the hang of it and my process for the buildings finally sped up. Then came the issue with the trees that you see that would be the bottom. I knew how to paint and draw a tree, but not where there's a bunch of them all close together. I ended up color blocking with one color and trying to make them look realistic that way, but it ended up looking muddy. Then I ended up painting different circle-sized areas with different greens and then going with a black colored mixed with a green to give them the details of actual trees in the distance. Also adding some brown to indicate as branches and tree trunks. Overall, I really do like how this came out. I took my time with it, and yes, it did take a lot of patience in order to create this piece. And I know I'm talking ahead of the video and it's not even close to where the trees are, but there are a few things I do want to say that aren't related to the painting, but I will be selling this painting, so if you're interested in buying, just shoot me an email or DM me on Instagram or message me on Facebook. If this ends up not selling, my plan is to make more paintings so I can put them into an art exhibit. The first update that isn't related to this painting is, as you've noticed, I haven't posted any vlogs lately, and I actually decided to stop them, at least for now, mainly because at the moment it's hard for me to make time to edit them and actually make them interesting. Most days I pretty much do over and over, like going to work, then training, then working at home on my painting or other things, and then sleep. That's pretty much my day every day, so it would just be tedious to post almost the same exact video over and over. There were a few vlogs, of course, of where it was different, whether I went to the mountains or got a cat for my roommate. But other than that, they're pretty much all the same. So that is on hold for now on. I know I don't post as often as here, but there will still be videos out, just not as often as they used to be. My issue here is I'm trying to do a lot of things at once, but in reality I can't keep up, and sometimes it leads to even being mentally and physically exhausted. And with the vlogs, it felt like it was a chore I had to do every weekend, which I don't want it to feel that way. I want to have fun editing my videos, so I'll be posting every once in a while, especially art related content, since this is an arts channel and not a vlog channel. I've been also working on a project for my other channel. I am making a jacket for myself, so that was actually one of my projects that is almost done as well. I ended up taking 2 weeks off from training just so I can focus better on my projects and try to get them done as soon as possible. My other channel is linked down below if you are interested, as well as my social media and my Etsy page. I do apologize for not posting for such a long time, but I hope you enjoy this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.